12 hours from now, we will pause. The country will pause to remember the more than 115,000 Canadians who made the ultimate sacrifice to preserve our freedom over the years. For nearly 100 years, the last post has echoed hauntingly through the downtowns as the city pauses for a moment's silence to honor the fallen. And while our veterans may be fading away, the respect and admiration of those around them only grow for their valor and strength. Now, tomorrow will mark the 99th anniversary of the end of the Great War. World War I. Many of the more than 4,000 Canadians killed at Passchendaele are buried. Officially, the second battle for Passchendaele was considered a victory for Canada. But for many of the soldiers, it was simply a waste of human life. Canadian forces were brought in to relieve exhausted Anzac troops and reinforce the British. While the constant German barrage and heavy rains had turned the battlefield into a deadly wasteland, the Canadians succeeded in taking Passchendaele, but at a heavy price. Along with the 4,000 dead, another 12,000 Canadians were injured. In a 2004 interview, Harold Lewis, the last living Canadian from Passchendaele, said at the time he was simply too frightened to fear dying.
Well, truthfully, you never thought anything about being killed. In other words, when over the top, you knew you would either be killed or you'd make it. And that's all there was to it. You didn't think about it.
Today, the Prime Minister, who is in Asia, released a statement marking the somber occasion. Quote, "For months, allies and enemies alike fought in conditions many described as a living hell, a landscape already broken by years of warfare, mud that swallowed men and horses but refused to bury the dead." The Canadians joined the battle in October of that year. For weeks, they endured incessant rain and shellfire, but by mid-November, they had taken the ridge. While a victory on the field, Passchendaele delivered a blow to the morale of the British Expeditionary Force and is often considered a low point for the British troops. And of course, we're talking about the 100th anniversary of the end of the Battle of Passchendaele, a bloody affair for the Canadians. It was considered a victory, but for many it was considered a pyrrhic victory. Now, there are Remembrance Day services across the GTA tomorrow. Queen's Park, one of them just up the street, and the one here at the City Hall Cenotaph begins at 10:45 tomorrow morning.